Heavens are telling the glory of God in the firmament proclaims his handiwork. Day-to-day pause for speech and night-to-night declares knowledge. Ladies and gentlemen, by God's grace, on this note, we welcome all of you to yet another very important edition of What Do You Know? Now, the Intermines First Aid and Safety Competition is an annual event organized by the Ghana Chamber of Mines to educate the citizenry on basic first aid steps and to foster consciousness of safety in their everyday lives. Now, the event is held in collaboration with the Minerals Commission and St. John Ambulance Ghana. The year's event is themed Safety, Our Collective Responsibility. Now, today we present to you the oral session of the Zone 1 edition of the 2024 Intermines First Aid and Safety Competition. The competing teams are Anglo Gold Ashanti Iduaprem Limited, which is the best company, the host company, Ghana Manganese Company Limited, Ashanti Gold Bibiani Limited, and Goldfields Ghana Limited, Takwa Mine. Last week, Saturday, the practical session of the Zone 1 held at Sikolo Intuli Sports Academy in Takwa. Later, as part of the educational drive in the conditionalities, the companies also had community teams from their operational areas competing. Now, we present to you the excerpts of the practical session, including the community teams from the mining areas.
I'd like to welcome us all to the Zone 1 Intermine First Aid and Safety Competition. Participating teams are on checking their items that they are going to use for their competition.
Anglo Gold Ashanti Iduaprem should remain. All the other teams should go for quarantine. An employee at a mechanical workshop exposed himself to flashes from electrical welding. He complains to you of gritty feeling in his eyes. The eyes are reddened and watery. As first aiders, demonstrate the appropriate first aid treatment for this injury, but do not transport. Note, the scene is safe. Pair 2. Your casualty is 23-year-old Jumbo Drill outsider who is working at the mean decline of your underground mine. After working for 3 hours, he is complaining of headache, dizziness, discomfort. Also has hot flash and dry skin. His colleague therefore called for emergency assistance. As first aiders called to the scene, you examine him and notice that his level of response is deteriorating whilst his pulse is fully bonded. Demonstrate the appropriate first aid treatment for this condition, but do not transport. Note that the scene is safe.
The scene is safe. Let's proceed. Let's say that this is my colleague. Okay, we are here to help you. What happened?
We are here to help you. We are the best you can find here.
I think I can see the pot in the
I suspect his stroke. Let's quickly move him to the refuge chamber.
Now the main team. At approximately 11:45 a.m., excavator TD-17 whilst mining at the northern section of the Akoti pit fell from a bench of about 4 meters high and landed on its side. The operator sustained bruises on the face and pain in the neck. He is complaining of pain in passing out urine. Your rapid body assessment revealed blood-stained clothing around the genital area and bleeding from the palm. Demonstrate the appropriate first aid treatment for this condition and load onto the ambulance.
Okay, very good. Now the scene is safe, so I'm attending to the casualty.
Okay, Captain.
Okay. Hello, sir. Please keep still. My name is Captain Professor. I'm here to help you. Please what's up? Guys, hurry up. And I've been coming in with your suspect spinal injury. Quickly stabilize the head for me in a neutral manner.
Okay,
make sure you don't cover the ear. Let's hurry up. Let's hurry up.
Okay, so I'll control.
Very thick, okay? Quickly.
Please, let's cover again. Making sure that you...
Abigail, please hurry up and apply cold compress to that bruising ladder. Very good, very good, very good, very good. Make sure you wrap it with a towel. Now may keep reassuring. Are you comfortable? Is the bandage too tight? Guys, it is scooping, so we don't have much time. Abigail, please, how is the bruises? Please, I need one person here.
And what happened? Machine fell. Increase the blood flow. We are
Yes,
trying
too
to
tight.
prevent
Okay.
shock.
Please, reassess the vitals for me again.
Please, let's experiment.
Very good.
Yes, breath is 14 breaths per minute.
I would like to put your leg closer.
Okay, so which means your pulse and breathing rate is very good. And you are...
You have some bruises in your face, so I'll not touch it. Can you feel my hand? Can you see my hands? Okay, then your air is clear.
So please, let's speed up.
Because they are blood.
Okay.
Sorry.
Spin around the pelvic.
Side it to
Your
tight.
back straight.
Okay, so I'll
So
protect
we
the
are
area
coming to
first,
scoop
then
you.
I'll
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So are we ready?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay,
So
good.
we are done with one side.
Guys, you are behind time. Let's hurry up.
Are we ready?
Okay.
On my count, 3, 2, 1. Okay.
so very good.
We are good to go. Take
Please, Abigail,
position.
come here. Come here.
Okay, Abigail, support this side.
Support it. Take it.
Hurry. Time is not on our side.
Abigail, come here. Okay.
Okay.
Charlie. Okay, good
Break it,
one. Good one.
So we are going to continue to secure head block. Okay.
Charlie, this hand will be done.
Strap.
So. Now we go by the leg to ambulance. Quick one.
After
Okay, now we go by the head. We take gently. Good one. Okay.
support.
Whilst exercising at the gym, Kofi Macho suddenly collapsed and became unresponsive. He seems not to be breathing and has no pulse. As first aiders, demonstrate your first aid skills and wait for an ambulance. Pair 2. After an accident, a worker who seemed to have sustained no injury appears pale, cold and clammy. He is also experiencing rapid breathing and a weak pulse. Upon assessment, there seem to be no pattern bruises around the abdomen. Treat the injury, but do not transport.
Kindly lie down first, okay? Don't worry. You'll be fine, okay? We are suspecting internal bleeding with shock, so we are going to guide you against shock. Okay. Let me call the emergency to inform. Hello, emergency. My name is Sophia Ward. We've been called to attend to a casualty. Upon our arrival, we noticed he's pale, cold, clammy, sweating and all. We suspect internal bleeding with shock. Come to our aid as ill as possible. Hello. Okay. Please, what's your name? Expose this and please, what's your name? Do you have any allergies?
Yeah.
Are you on any medication?
Yeah.
What was the last
we
you
have done
did?
2 cycles of
You have bruising on your
Yes, sir.
abdomen.
Remember, our
because
aim
of
is to make sure you
accident.
keep
So we are
conscious
treating the bruising with a
When you
cold
are exhausted, let me know so that I
compress. That's why we are applying this.
Hello, good
85 beats per minute.
Our gentleman is still not
Don't worry,
coming,
Mr.
so we've done
Kweku.
5
You'll be
cycles, so
fine,
we're on the
okay.
6th cycle. So can you be fast and come to our aid?
There's no bleeding from your ears, no discoloration of the eyes, no bleeding from the nose, the mouth. Do you feel pain around your neck?
Gentlemen, if you can hear me, open your eyes. Please,
what about this side? Do you feel pain?
Yes, please. You've done. Yeah, we are on it. Okay. Gentlemen.
Mr. Koku,
gentlemen, if you can hear me, open your eyes.
Your body, what is your body doing?
Gentlemen.
Because of the internal bleeding, you don't want to elevate your legs because there might have some damage in your internal organs.
We've done CPR for 2 minutes. Mr. Remember, still our aim is to make sure he regains consciousness and start breathing for himself. Until that, you are not stopping this.
Oh, they mention it.
I said what?
An underground miner was working when a rock fall occurred. The rock hit the left side of his chest, which has rendered him coughing up blood. A sharp piece of rock penetrated his left thigh, which is firmly embedded in a wound. Moreover, the casualty suffered crash foot injury. As first it is called, treat and transport.
Captain, I've called the emergency service to come to our aid. Gentlemen, my name is Pedro, Chief Engineer from DMV. I just heard you. You need to move into a city for the possibility of a rock fall. So which move it? We move. One. Yes, ma'am. My name is
Are you comfortable in the position?
Provide me with a bowl in case you want to come. Provide me with a bowl.
Are you comfortable in the position? Are you comfortable?
Let's move towards this area. Are you okay?
Are you okay?
Are you okay? Okay. Captain, his name is Koku. Captain, I saw a bruises on his chest and he's also coughing out blood. I can see he also has an embedded object in the left side and he also complains of pain at the foot. So, Captain, I'm going to call the hospital to let them know about the situation. Report to attention as well. Yes, sir. Are you comfortable?
Are you comfortable? Are you comfortable?
Sorry, I can still just deform foot. I would have to apply cold compress.
Let me hold a cold compress. Let me hold a cold compress in case. Mr. Baby, you are going to find a case. Are you comfortable in the position you are in? So, applying a cold compress.
We'll be able to bring the man into a sitting position. We can plan towards the where the pain is. We've also provided with the body in case you want to form it. That's not the affected fracture of the thigh. We've been able to control bleeding because there's an embedded object. You do not press directly on the embedded object. You spin around the wound to control bleeding. Captain, now bleeding is under control of the asking whether it's allergic to it. Captain, I've been able to put the crash foot. I've left the code part in place. I'm going to call the hospital again to let them know about the situation. Yes. We'll be able to manage the crash foot and the embedded object on the hospital.
His name is Tabu.
Monitor your vitals again.
Don't worry, I'm going to write the emergency almost here. Call the emergency to find out if they are here.
Okay, let's do this. I want to do this.
It's all right.
Check, we are going to lift you into an absent check.
So on the count of 1, we lift. So me 1.
Keep flipping around here. Captain, I see no further injury. They can be complaints of no pain.
Okay, we lower him down. At the count of 1, we lift. 1. We advance to the final left.
Asante Gold, Bebieni, first pair. After being hit by a flying rock during hauling in a pit, a miner was seen holding onto his leg. A detailed assessment revealed a taut vein which is raised and a knobby skin over the affected area which is bleeding. Demonstrates the appropriate first aid treatment for this condition, but do not transport. Note that the scene is safe. Pair 2. A cleaner was seen holding his hand and bleeding from a wound with a piece of glass sticking out in it at the back of the right hand. The casualty told you the lower blade got broken in an effort to clean it. Demonstrate the appropriate first aid treatment for this injury, but do not transport. The scene is safe.
From the back side, the scene is safe. Let's go.
Please, we are
Please place your hand by the side. Please, let's
Hello,
sit down.
sir.
Sorry.
Hello, sir.
Place your hand
My
by the
name is
side.
Portia.
Control breathing.
Please,
Please place your hand by the side. Control
this.
breathing.
We are here to help you. Please, can we help you? Please, let's help you sit down.
I can feel your chest.
Sorry, it's fine. Sorry, it's fine. Sir, please, what is wrong with you? Yes,
Suspend us. Embedded wound at the back
I can see the way the airway is fading. You are breathing.
So keep on pressing over it.
And I can see
Keep on pressing over it. Control
responding. You'll be fine, okay? Don't worry. But please, I would like to do a further assessment. Apart from what you are telling Anima, I can see he's bleeding. Please control bleeding from where I'm seeing the bleeding. Please let me do a rapid assessment. Apart from what I've seen, if I will see anything else. Okay, I don't see any blood coming from his head. I don't see any blood coming from anywhere apart from his bone. But you'll be fine, okay? Please let me help you lie down, okay? Sorry. You'll be fine, okay? You'll be fine. You'll be fine. Everything will be fine. Edima, please, boss, please, I would like to cut open where the blood is coming from, okay? So that I will do a further assessment. And the first two. Please, I'm raising the legs, okay? Let me control bleeding. Please make the call. Call ambulance service. Tell them that we came across a man. Upon assessment, we are seeing bleeding coming from the very first vein. They should come in and support us, okay? Emergency. But please, you'll be fine, okay? Don't worry, you'll be fine. Anima, please hurry up and cover him for me, okay? To guide against shock. But you'll be fine, okay? Don't worry.
This is too tight. Contact, okay? Why are you talking? Okay, you are doing well, okay?
But if the man is too shy,
next time we are working, we try to observe all the safety rules, okay? So that you know the head, okay? Fine there, okay? For 1 week, okay?
you'll be fine, okay, sir?
Yes, I will do that.
Don't worry. Upon comparing his temperature to my own, he's warm to touch. Yes. And I can feel the rising and the falling of the chest too. He's breathing with ease. Yes, and I feel 16 breaths per minute.
Do you feel any pain here?
And I feel 60 pain. Do you feel anything at the rib?
Let me check your
okay, so the stomach is not tender.
16 breaths per minute, okay.
Please don't feel any pain in the waist. Do you feel anything? I don't feel any broken bone here. But you'll be fine, okay? Please, do you have any allergies? I don't have any medication.
A chainsaw operator accidentally cut through his thigh bone with a chainsaw machine. The machine also cut portion of the flesh on the lower leg with a flap of the skin displaced. The injured sites are bleeding severely. All injuries are found on the same limb. Demonstrate the appropriate first aid treatment for these injuries and transport.
Hello, sir. Good morning. I'm Prosper. These are my team members. Come help you. I first then you have to help you. What's your name? What's wrong with you? You can see it's bleeding. Please control bleeding at the side of the wound. At the side. Don't press on the bone, okay? Don't press on the bone.
Okay.
Please, I this one. Wash up. I can see the flap is hanging. Please put the flap back and do you feel any pain? Do you feel any pain? Do you feel any pain? Do you feel any pain?
Emergency. This is Emma calling from the first aid center. We have one casualty, about 280.
You'll be fine, okay?
Everything's under control. Don't worry. You're in good hands. Don't worry. Sorry.
We are bandaging the other leg.
Okay. Okay, after 1 minute, I feel 60 beats per minute. Edima, he was warm to touch. Yes, the breathing is okay. There's no noise in the breathing. Of course, you'll be fine, okay? Please, I would like to ask you some questions, okay? Please, do you have any allergies? Are you under any medication? Do you have any past history medically? Please, what were you doing before this thing happened to you? Please, have you been immunized against tetanus or anything? Oh, my message, so it's once. And it is long. You have to do it again because of the chainsaw and all that. You have to do it again.
When you do feel any pain, no bleeding from this side. Okay, no bleeding from this side.
And the breathing too, 1 minute. I still feel 16 breaths per minute. There's no noise. Please, you'll be fine, okay? You'll be fine, okay? But please don't forget about the tetanus thing I told you about. But we will report to the ambulance service too. But in case that they forget, please remind them. It's been long since you had one, okay? Please, you'll be fine, okay? Don't worry.
Fast. Master.
3, 2, 1, left.
3, 2, 1, let's go.
Okay, sure. Thank you. Please, ambulance.
This should be a break.
Okay, 1, left.
Okay, let's go. And my please do the aftermath, okay?
Okay, go first. Your scenario. Pair 1. A nursing mother rushed to your first aid post during a fun game event with her baby who has stopped feeding abruptly and unresponsive. Demonstrate the appropriate first aid treatment for this condition, but do not transport. The scene is safe. A splinter of a metal pierced through the skin of a young man at a workshop. The splinter can be found on the casualty's index finger. Demonstrate the appropriate first aid treatment for this condition, but do not transport. Note that the scene is safe.
Okay, so let's not respond.
That has a spring water. I got it. And so for you, okay? So, okay? Sorry. I was around with a pair of fingers. I'm drawing the flame. I've seen. Okay? Keep reassuring him for me, okay? Behind the for me, gentlemen. Sorry?
That's what I was. This report managed one casualty upon our assessment. The casualty was infants, who was called fellas. The sorry responsive were not briefing.
There was a fire outbreak near a magazine of which firefighters, ERTs, tried to fight the fire for about 2 hours. Midway of the task, one of the firefighters complained of headache, dizziness, and confusion. He is sweating profusely, pale and clammy skin. His vitals showing rapid weakening pulse and breathing. He slipped with a fire hose and fell. There is swelling and painful, deformed right angle with blisters on his left palm. As trained first aiders, give treatment and transport the injured to a medical facility.
Yes, sir. Please, I'm here to face that from both ways. We are here to rescue you so that we can help you, okay? Don't worry, everything will be fine, eh? Hand from here, left hand and right.
See, from the back.
Okay, let's go out. Let's go and fracture assessment.
We have one casualty. Heat exhaustion, fracture near the ankle, and blisters in the palm. Okay. Yeah. And because of the I can spell that. Hello, can you hear me? Are you able to say this here for me?
Hello, can you hear me?
All right. I'll take your left, okay? All right, anything in here, okay? Stop.
Police, off. We left our casualty by the count of one, gently and slowly. Hey, Abi.
Okay, I'll sign it. Hello, committee first, the family Steve Delu, but your St. John's ambulance. But your best may Tim Nanyanti, I said, or market or hobbies or I'm first a mayor. Right now, Nepal one also a whole hour year pa into your Gusaya and one to your Hamusum. Yes, Monupano, the Montine, how I'm Mukomachi, my Biabi. Pacha Michelle say ambulance na amwedru area. Hello, Pacha me na me flame no. Pese me say mo na mkwanso ba na mo fa mo sanche. Afi mo nya mbo ase e ma no so. Baako, mienu, miensa, boko. All right. Mama na dey no quality. So what? Say koko. All right. Afi mo hwe na mo kata ne ho nyina yi. Baako, mienu, miensa, boko. Mo hwe sa mo de ne na ne be ko. Hello, Fatima. Okay, Papa. Papa. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And I'm sorry, some of you say yes, I'm telling you about me channel. So Papa. My 30 for spine. I say I don't so free with money. What it a year be watching? What hour? Okay, or hands what we pay down 9. What we pay down 9. Where's 1 2 row? Yeah. Checking the post. Near fair. Row. Papa, what's up? We are not against I'm saying we are fast. Nice.
Now, of course, the practical session reached conclusion. And the results of the practical session, prior results for the practical session, Zone 1, Intermines First Aid and Safety Competition. We have Anglo Gold Ashanti Iduaprim Limited, emerged with 57.5%. 57.5. Ghana Manganese Company came with 47.5 points. Ashanti Gold Bibiani Limited emerged with 49.5. And Goldfields Ghana Limited came with 34.5. Now, ladies and gentlemen, while the practical session was ongoing, we also had selected students from the mining communities to participate in the essay competition. Now, the scripts were subsequently marked by the West African Examination Council's chief examiner for basic schools level. Based on the results, we would present these schools with their prizes, and indeed starting from the 8th to the 1st position. Now the presenter of the awards will be Miss Laurentia Boahima Ewua, Human Resource and Operations Manager at the Ghana Chamber of Mines. Welcome, Laurentia Boahima. Now, ladies and gentlemen, rather unfortunately, some of the persons to whom the prize will be presented are unavailable today, but we would invite Kwalsa Laurentia A.C. Asari. Bonded, yes, she came 7th. And she takes branded bags, exercise books, dictionary, and pens. A round of applause. Yankee Bernard Penyinyana. He came first in this competition. Branded bags, exercise books, dictionary, and pens. The contestant who came third in this competition Eidu Bliss. And he takes home a magnificent Samsung tablet. Lynette Akowa Martins emerged triumphant in the totality of the competition. And of course, for her prize, she also takes away a Samsung tablet. A round of applause for Akowa Martins. Lynette. Now,
AngloGold Ashanti Iduapro mine has been doing a lot for the school.
It has really helped us a lot.
I'm who I am because of them.
Oma meso yasana nka ebi nim baby a wadu. Nti Awurade na yede bo am se de ombesom bia no enkoso.
AngloGold Ashanti Iduapro mine has over the years implemented several socio-economic interventions to transform life and to positively impact the communities in which we operate. The main objective is to make a positive contribution towards an enduring wealth. One of such areas that we've made significant contribution is health.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to deal with the oral competition. The contestants are lined up very quickly. I think I'd like the contestants to introduce themselves before I proceed to spell out the rules which regulate the conduct of proceedings here. The contestants will introduce themselves.
Esther Kunsen. I'm Abigail Addo. AngloGold Ashanti.
Ishal.
Basia Samoa.
Ghana Manganese.
Gloria Madiman. Ashanti Gold BBN Limited.
Daniel Bapuno.
Aini the Prince. Goldface Ghana Takwa Mine.
Round of applause for all the contestants. Now, as I indicated, the rules which regulate the proceedings here. Now, in this particular competition, we will depart from the rules which guide the mainstream program. Here, all the contestants are entitled to answer the same number of questions. Now, you're supposed to answer every question within 10 seconds. Any answer which is delivered outside 10 seconds would not attract the quizmaster's sympathy. 10 seconds and no more. Now, you will have 3 points when you succeed in answering a question correctly. Again, in as much as you sit in pairs, and for the avoidance of any confusion, both of you have the right to collaborate, put your ideas together and see what kind of answer to produce for the quizmaster's inspection to avoid chaos. Only one of your number will produce the answer. Now, as I indicated, 3 points will be available to the contestants who succeed in answering the question to the complete satisfaction of the quizmaster. If, for a certain reason, the answer which is delivered falls short of the standard required by the quizmaster, then the number of points available to that contestant will depreciate. So that depending upon the integrity, depending upon the righteousness of the answer, the quizmaster will decide whether to award 1 point or 2 points. So based on this, we will start the competition. Action stations, round 1, question 1. AngloGold Ashanti, AngloGold. Now, managing risk is fundamental to every aspect of mine action. Now, one aim of risk management is to identify, assess, control, and revise risk wherever it will arise. Now, so that the mine action programs, projects, and activities are safe, they're efficient, and they're effective in achieving their objectives. Now, one mine action, the provision of a safe working environment include the safe storage, transportation, and handling of explosive materials. Now, under what condition can a vehicle authorized to be used for the transportation of explosives be used for the transportation of other materials within the framework of Regulation 97 of the Minerals and Mining Regulations 2012 LI 2177?
Okay.
You have two chances.
So an authorized vehicle used to transport explosive can be used to transport other material if that vehicle has been washed, the compartment in which that explosives were transported has been thoroughly washed out class before and after the transportation of the explosives.
It is correct. Absolutely. If the compartment in which the explosives are carried are thoroughly washed before and after the vehicle has been used for the transportation of the explosives, Ghana Manganese. Now, for 3 points, a detonator is a device containing a detonating charge that is used to initiate an explosion reliably at a specified time and as applicable in the prescribed sequence. Now, Regulation 98.1 of the Minerals and Mining Regulation 2012 LI 2177 says a person shall not transport detonators in the same compartment with other explosives. What does Regulation 98.2 say?
A person may transport nitro compound explosive, blasting agents, and detonating fuses together, but shall not transport any of them with detonators.
Absolutely. Every compartment, every single compartment of the answer precisely delivered, immaculately. That certainly was a sublime performance. Now listen, it's your turn, Asante Gold. Now, what is the obligation of a person who transports explosives under Regulation 99A and B of the Minerals and Mining Regulations 2012 LI 2177?
Please, the question again.
What is the obligation of a person who transports explosives under Regulation 99A and B of the Minerals and Mining Regulations 2012 LI 2177? Madam.
A person who transports explosives and road vehicles shall transport both explosives. A person who transports explosives and fuel in a road vehicle shall ensure that the fuel is transported in a fuel container. And a person who transports explosives shall ensure that no other material is carried in the compartment in which explosives are carried.
No, I think that this one has been taken at, it's a little apocryphal. It has been taken at a certain tangent. He shall transport the explosives in an authorized vehicle. He shall transport the explosives in an authorized vehicle. And again, he will pack the explosives in sound, completely covered, or otherwise closed, approved containers. You understand? Or other closed approved containers. So these are the two situations here, I'm afraid. Goldfields. Now declare the full content of Regulation 102 of the Minerals and Mining Regulations 2012 LI 2177.
Say it,
Gold.
Come again.
Oh, how can I come again? Declare the full content of Regulation 102 of the Minerals and Mining Regulations 2012 LI 2177.
A person transporting explosives in a road vehicle shall ensure that the explosives are not in the driver's cabin.
Say it again. Say it again.
A person transporting explosives shall ensure that the explosives are not are not in the cabin of the driver's seat.
I think I'll allow that one. You understand? The person supposed to ensure, if you are carrying explosives, that those explosives are not carried in the driver's cabin, the cabin of the vehicle. Now, we're back to, is it Anglo Gold? Anglo Gold. Now, a vehicle technically is a machine that is used to carry people or goods from one place to another, and so may include cars, trucks, and other means of logistics. Now, Regulation 104 of the Minerals and Mining Regulations 2012 LI 2177 is on authorized vehicle requirements, and one of the requirements says a person who uses a vehicle to transport explosives shall ensure that the vehicle is authorized and the driving cab of that vehicle is separated from the load carrying the compartment of the vehicle, and where the body of the vehicle is built directly into the driving cab, a fireproof bulkhead is provided across the full width of the body. Now, using this as a preamble for the following questions. Now listen. Now this cuts across all of you. Listen. Now, state the content of Regulation 104A. Regulation 104A, Anglo Gold.
So a person the vehicle should be of sound construction, made of suitable material, has adequate strength, and free from any patent defect.
No, I think that the thing was muddled up a little. There were so many components that were left out. The person shall ensure the vehicle first is authorized. Of course, you indicated that it's of sound construction, and again, that it is free from patent defects. But the third factor is that it is also maintained in good working order. So, ladies and gentlemen, 2 out of 3. Good working order. Safe construction and free from patent defects is absolutely correct. 2 out of 3. The manganese. What does Regulation 104B say?
The vehicle used for the transporting of explosive is authorized and is propelled by diesel engine.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Asante Gold, Bibiani. Now, of course, going by the same prefatory message, which I, by God's grace, have delivered. Declare the content of Regulation 104F of the Minerals and Mining Regulations 2012 LI 2177. In the lights of the preamble.
The vehicle shall have at least 2 fire extinguishers.
Compartment in which the explosives are transferred is adequately ventilated.
Well, 2 out of 3. Ventilation is what took you out of distress. You understand? The person shall ensure that the vehicle, in the first place, is authorized. And the compartment which contains the explosives in the vehicle is adequately ventilated. 2 out of 3. Finally, Goldfields here. Now, what does Regulation 104P say? 104 of the Minerals and Mining Regulations 2012 LI 2177. What does it say? They are reticent. No answer came out of the mental. So they were absolutely reticent. Of course, they didn't want to step into any muddle the waters and so on. And so the person shall ensure that the vehicle is authorized in the first place and does not have electric cables inside the compartment in which the explosives are transported. Now, back to Anglo Gold. Now, electrical equipment includes any machine powered by electricity. They are usually of an enclosure, a variety of electrical components, and often a power switch. Now, according to Regulation 359, Sub-Regulation 3C of the Minerals and Mining Regulation 2012 LI 2182, the engineering manager of a mine shall take the steps that are necessary to ensure that in the mine, where an equipment to be worked on is required to be live for the purpose of examination, adjustment, testing, repair, and other work, the work may only be undertaken by a person. What type of person are we dealing with here?
May only be undertaken by an authorized person, and also or a competent or authorized person, and also if the required tools and equipment, protective equipment are in place.
This is correct. It is correct. So the preliminary requirement is that the person must be duly authorized, and additionally, the appropriate tools and protective equipment must be used. 3 points. Now, Ghana Manganese. Now, with reference to Regulation 359 of the Minerals and Mining Regulations 2012 LI 2182, declare the content of Sub-Regulation 3A. Declare the content of Sub-Regulation 3A. The full content. The full Monty. The whole caboodle did not come. That the current is switched off from the conductors and the equipment which are not in use. You switch off from all conductors and equipment which are not in use. Asante Gold Bibiani, what does Sub-Regulation 3B of Regulation 359 of the Minerals and Mining Regulations 2012 LI 2182 say?
The current shall not be restored to the equipment except by the person who turned it off and the person authorized to do the work. He's the only person allowed to restore current back to the equipment.
Are you sure that is what it says? It says that work is not undertaken on any live conductor or live parts of the equipment. Live, don't go there. When there's live conductor or there's a live portion of the equipment. Goldfields. Now, that's the final question in this round. Declare the content of Sub-Regulation 3D of Regulation 359 of the Minerals and Mining Regulations 2012 LI 2182.
The competent person shall ensure that the switches and safety tags are in place and they are only removed by that competent person.
That competent person was not competent here. Because for competence, we say that an insulating material is used. Use an insulating material only if that material is suitable for the purpose for which it is used. Use the insulating material only if that material is suitable for the purpose for which it is used. End of round one.
This entire place is a Eduaprim sub-district. So we have communities that benefit from the services we are rendering here.
These facilities that have been put up, that means the health center and the CHIPS compounds that have been put up by Anglo Gold Ashanti, have helped to improve access to quality care.
For common hemoglobin level, HB, we used to ask them to go somewhere else, probably Takwa. For scan, we will ask them to go to Takwa. So the provision of equipment and the establishment of this facility has taken away the burden on clients to travel one. Aside that too, the smaller facilities can now refer their cases here.
First, na yeba clinic ba ko na ye woda denim e wo esro honom. Baby ana ye beden si se omohwe yen na omama ya kofie na ye de nkwara na asen aba bi wo ho abe 11 PM. na wonam kwan so enwumbre na wo ba nti Anglo Good abema yen baby ayaresa bia kama ama ese sakura ne yare kura omo mayen fa omo nkufie mbenanti anaju biem.
Last 2 years, 3 years ago, looking at the attendance and the registrants of pregnant women at the facility was very low, but now it has increased to about 50%.
Now we run through our communities, you see health centers, you see clinics, you see CHIP compounds, you see training programs we run in collaboration with the Municipal Health Directorate for the health officials. You see the equipment, modern equipment we are supplying. You see, it be some training or some sensitization programs, hygiene and other things in the society, and we think these things are promoting good health.
In the time of COVID, I think we are all aware of the enormous donations that went in to support the facility to cater for the people who came down with the disease. That even led to the establishment of the CDU.
At the end of the first round of the competition, Asante Gold Bibiani Limited has 2 points. Goldfields Ghana Limited has 3 points. Ghana Manganese Company Limited came with 6 points. And in the lead as at now is Anglo Gold Ashanti Idiaprem Limited with 8 points.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. You're welcome to the second compartment of this competition, this Intermined First Aid and Safety Competition of 2024, whose theme is Safety Our Collective Responsibility. Round 2, question 1, and the responsibility here lies upon Anglo Gold Ashanti Idiaprem Limited. Now listen, now a license is a permit from an authority to own or use something, do a particular thing, or carry on a trade. Now, for this reason, a person, according to the regulations, particularly Regulation 26(1) of the Minerals and Mining Regulations 2012 LI 2177, shall not manufacture explosives unless that person has a license granted for that purpose by the Commission. What does Regulation 26(3) say? What does it say? 26(3).
Please, the question again.
What does Regulation 26(3) say? Is the question. It says that when the Commission receives an application, it would issue the license, but subject to the duration. It would stipulate and the conditions to be fulfilled under the license. You understand? Subject to the conditions and the period determined by the Commission. So is it Ghana Manganese? Ghana Manga. Listen, now, according to Regulation 26(4) of the Minerals and Mining Regulations, LI 2177, states the mode of the license application. We have dealt with this license application and who issues the license. What is the mode? According to 26(4).
So the application for the license shall be as set out in the Form J of the second schedule, and it shall include an approved operating plan in accordance with this regulation.
Yes, of course, the answer was delivered in part, but I think there were cataracts, which obliterated, the sublime quality of the answer. And so, rather than taking 3, you have to take 2 points out of 3. Of course, the application ought to be as set out in Form J, is correct? Or the second schedule, you rightly mentioned that. Right now set out in Form J, but it must be made by an explosives manager. Of course, you also indicated that an acceptable operating plan must be made, but that operating plan must be in accordance with regulations 9 and 10. So 2 out of 3. Goldfields. Oh, sorry, Asante Gold. Asante. Declare the content of sub-regulation 5 of regulation 26 of the Minerals and Mining Regulation 2012, LI 2177. The content. Declare the content of sub-regulation 5 of regulation 26.
An application for the renewal of the license shall be made at least 1 month before the end of the year, and it shall be in the same manner as an application for a new license.
Oh, but I think that the answer here was skewed. It looks like it took, a terrible tangent. Very terrible tangent. It is not at all in consonance, not at all in concordance with the grand requirements of the answer, and therefore nothing will be offered. The person granted the license to manufacture explosive will comply with the conditions of the license and the requirements of these regulations in relation to the manufacture, the storage, the use, and disposal of the explosives. So I'm afraid nothing would be offered. Goldfields. What does Regulation 26.6 of the Minerals and Mining Regulation 2012 LI 2177 say? 26.6.
The application for the renewal of the license shall be in the same manner as the application of a new license, and then it shall be as set out in Form J in the second schedule and be submitted not later than the 15th day of each month.
But I think this is where the model comes in. It was a topsy-turvy situation here. There was a collision, as it were, between Goldfields and Asante Gold. You understand? I think maybe that is what Asante Gold wanted to talk about here. That the license to manufacture explosives is valid for 1 calendar year. And it will be renewed when you apply. That's all. Valid for 1 year, renewable on application. Anglo Gold. Now, safety is paramount, in the mining industry. And first aid plays a crucial role in ensuring the well-being of workers. Now, according to the regulation, particularly Regulation 2221 of the Minerals and Mining Regulations 2012 LI 2182, which deals with first aid in gold processing plants and cyanide and the use of cyanide. A manager of a gold processing plant shall ensure that first aid and emergency medical treatment are administered by a competent person trained in a training facility and assessed as competent in first aid and emergency medical treatment procedures. What does Regulation 2222 say? 2222. 22 sub 2. 222 sub 2.
It says a person trained in first aid and emergency medical treatment shall be competent in cyanide first aid.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Right, that is it. Righteousness in its full garments, presented on this occasion, sacrosanct. No qualms about the sacrosanctity of the answer that you should. And so 3 points. A person trained to provide first aid and emergency medical treatment shall be competent in first aid treatment. A person trained to provide first aid and emergency medical treatment shall be competent in first aid treatment. Now, Ghana Manganese. Now, one of the provisions and the first aid in gold processing plants that use cyanide as captured in Regulation 2226A, is for the person responsible for the processing plant to ensure that cyanide contamination is not extended to other plants, employees, or personnel administering first aid to cyanide victims. Now, declare the other provision as spelled out in Regulation 2226B. Ghana Manganese.
Adequate precautions are taken to protect bystanders and persons who administer cyanide first aid treatment to victims.
Adequate precautions are taken to protect bystanders and the person administering the first aid before and during the administration.
That is the sanctity. On the first occasion, the quizmaster certainly would not have sympathized absolutely with the question answer, because that one significant portion of the answer was left out. That must be before and during first aid treatment, now which was adequately provided in the second delivery, and therefore 3 points without any qualms. Precautions should be taken to protect bystanders and persons administering the first aid before and during first aid treatment. Thank you. Is it Asante? Asante Gold. Now declare the content of Regulation 2225 of the Minerals and Mining Regulations 2012, LI 2182. 2225.
A worker of the processing plant who administers cyanide first aid shall undergo mock drills to test the competency of that person once in a year, at least once in a year.
I think that I would rather give you only 1 point. Only one. I'll give you only 1 point, even though you declared one important area. You understand? The significant items in this column were left out. The first, the worker must be trained. That is not any worker. A worker, no. Worker trained to provide first aid in gold processing plants that use cyanide. So, of course, they shall undergo the mob drills to test the competency of that worker. Not yearly, every 6 months. Every 6 months. And so it's 1 out of 3. Goldfields, Ghana. Now, when it comes to technical support to be supplied to by manufacturers, suppliers, and distributors of cyanide, as spelled out in Regulation 2241 of the Minerals and Mining Regulations 2182, a manufacturer of cyanide or a supplier or distributor of cyanide for use by a mining company shall supply technical information that will assist with the safe management of cyanide. But which type of technical specification or service should a manufacturer, supplier, and distributor provide under sub-regulation 2G of Regulation 224? Asante?
Please come and give me the question.
Oh, sorry, it's Goldfields. Which type of technical specification or service should a manufacturer, supplier, and distributor provide under sub-regulation 2G of Regulation 224?
First aid medical treatment guidance.
I disagree. Second chance for you.
A, B, C, D, E, F.
It talks about transportation and delivery requirements. Transportation and delivery requirements. Now, so AngloGold, now you declare the content of sub-regulation 2I of Regulation 224 of the Minerals and Mining Regulations 2012 LI 2182. Mesdames.
First aid and emergency medical instruction guidelines.
I would not concur with that proposition. Out. Management practice and procedures for tanks and equipment, including preparation for vessel entry, isolation, decontamination, and scrap disposal and waste treatment. But well done anyway. But that certainly was a different kettle of fish. Absolutely different kettle of fish. Ghana Manganese. Now, state the type of technical specification and service a manufacturer, supplier, and distributor should provide under sub-regulation 2J of Regulation 224 of the Minerals and Mining Regulations 2012 LI 2182.
Offloading and storage.
I think you should offload this answer and load on what is required. Second chance. It deals with emergency response programming, planning, emergency response planning. Yes, is it Asante? Yes. Now, what type of technical specification and service should the manufacturer, supplier, and distributor provide under sub-regulation 2K of Regulation 224 of the Minerals and Mining Regulations, LI 2182?
Fire and personal protective equipment.
You're on fire. There's fire burning your camp already. So reorganize. There's fire. Oh, and you should have detoxified this one. This one also needed detoxification. It simply deals with first aid and medical treatment. First aid and medical treatment, period. Now, listen. High exposure to cyanide can cause cyanide poisoning with headache, weakness, confusion, nausea, pounding of the chest, coma, and even death. Now, repeated lower exposure to cyanide can cause nosebleeds and sores in the nose or enlargement of the thyroid gland. Now, it is for this and other hazards that safety measures must be put in place in handling cyanide and other chemical products in the mining industry. Regulation 225(1) of the Minerals and Mining Regulation 2012 LI 2182 refers. Now, why should a supplier or distributor of cyanide for use in a gold processing plant use cyanide loading procedures that ensures the proper supply of the cyanide to a hauler or transporting company? Last question in this round of the competition. Why should a supplier or distributor of cyanide for use in a gold processing plant use cyanide loading procedures that ensure the proper supply of the cyanide to a hauler or a transporting agent, transporting company? According to 2251.
For the proper carriage of the cyanide.
Two out of three. You understand? It is meant to prevent improper. You understand? So if it says proper, it is correct. Meant to prevent improper carriage or abuse. You understand? It's not just the impropriety, but the abuse. 2 out of 3, end of round 2.
That's the disease control unit. The greatest impact has been our success in the area of malaria cases. The prevalence of malaria in the municipality has gone down. Know that malaria, the national is targeting elimination of malaria by 2030. and through the support of Anglo Gold Ashanti Biafran Mine, talking about the lava source management, they are supporting Zoom line on the national with this activity has brought the parasite prevalence in the municipality very low.
The other side we can talk about is our education intervention.
Anglo Gold Ashanti Biafra has been helping the school a lot. They support the school with teaching learning materials. Also, they give our girl child sanitary pad for every month. And this, I know it is in collaboration with GIZ.
I'm going to see school done by Kobe and the schools will normally write to the company the item that they need. So if Anglo Gold Ashanti is providing these items, then the assembly is a little bit not challenged too much, so they can extend resources to other communities which are not part of their catchment area.
Every community you set foot in, you see our footprint. Either you see a nursery, you see a school block, a complete school block from 1 to 6. Offer scholarships to the needy but brilliant people from the communities. This year alone, we are offering about 60 scholarships. We have also built a vocational center in Kibribi, one of our communities.
Enkaneno na me school a metifi a menye bibia. Ena me say Anglo Gold for the forms aba se wo a wani gye se wo besua adwuma bia no obetumi akwa akofa bi ampa me fa bi enema ye disua adwuma ni nyina eye free no mode ma ye my sewing machines
Omama ye straight machines, omama ye overlock machine, omama ye knitting machine, omama ye embroidering machine and kasa. A two head. Chese bibia eye adepam anaso se workshop ni hia no. Chese ye providing ni na ma chese obi obetu ne na ye si shop ha bia ne ni je.
After they are learning,
At the end of the second round of the competition, Ashanti Gold Bibiani Limited has 3 points. Goldfields Ghana Limited has 5 points. Ghana Manganese Company Limited came with 11 points. And Anglo Gold Ashanti Ibiaprim Limited also has 11 points.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We're in the very final column of this competition. This is the Mines First Aid and Safety Competition 2012. Very quickly, the third stanza, the final decision. This is the round of death. Round 3, question 1, Anglo Gold. Now here, there are no 2 attempts, no 2 ways. You tell me whether it is true or false. 1 attempt, true or false. Now, listen, I will not repeat the question. Now, according to Regulation 111 of the Minerals and Mining Regulations, LI 2177, shall ensure that where explosives for which that manager is responsible are being loaded into or unloaded from a road vehicle, the engine of that vehicle is switched off and due care is taken by the person in charge of the loading or loading to ensure that a person, other than a person assisting that person in charge of loading or unloading, also has access to the explosives. True or false?
False.
It is false, thank you. Now, Ghana Manganese. Now, where 2 or more road vehicles transporting explosives are traveling in a convoy, according to Regulation 1115 of the Minerals and Mining Regulations, LI 2177, the drivers of the vehicles shall maintain a distance of at least 150 meters between one vehicle and the other. True or false? False. False? You have to be so meticulous in imbibing knowledge here because it's only 50 meters and not 150 meters. Regulation 114 of the Minerals and Mining Regulations, LI 2177, says a person driving a road vehicle which is transporting explosives shall, on the approach of and during a thunderstorm, park the vehicle off the highway at least 500 meters from an inhabited building. Master, madam, it is correct. It is a positive truth. Now, the final one here, Goldfields. Now, a person engaged in loading or unloading of explosives into or from a road vehicle may be allowed to carry matches or other means of producing ignition, but should wear boots or shoes with steel or iron heels, tips, or exposed nails, according to Regulation 1112 of the Minerals and Mining Regulation, LI 2177. True or false?
False.
It is false, thank you. It is false. Now, on first aid, AngloGold. Now, a first aider is a person trained to take care of individuals involved in an emergency. Now, when dealing with an emergency as a first aider, you have to use your eyes and your ears as well as verbal and non-verbal skills. Now, they're going to mention one of the things you should do as a first aider, apart from making eye contact in this regard. What should you do?
So
Start, AngloGold. Give me one, only one.
You use affirmative nods and ums when responding to the
Use affirmative nods and ums. Ghana Manganese.
You use simple hand gestures and movements.
You use what?
Simple hand gestures and movements.
Simple hand gestures and movements. That's correct. Asante, I think they have to recover from their cold.
The casualty when he's speaking, but listen.
You do not interrupt the casualty when he's speaking, but listen to him. Goldfields.
Give the casualty a sheet of paper to write his or her questions on the paper. Give the casualty a piece of paper to write his or her questions on it.
Will you be writing a test? You give the casualty a paper to write. It is conspicuous by its absence in this column of things. You use calm, confident voice. Don't speak too quickly. Speak calmly, quietly. Keep your instructions simple and straightforward. Use affirmative nods and ums to show you are listening. Check that the casualty understands what you mean. Use simple hand gestures and movements. Don't interrupt the casualty. Now, again, AngloGold. Now, in me, the head may suddenly move backward and then forward due to forces on the body, such as a car crash. Who am I?
Flash injury.
It is correct. Whiplash injury. Ghana Manganese. Ghana Manganese. I am a dynamic process used to prioritize the casualties needing emergency treatment. I am repeated during the care of each casualty in a major accident. Who am I?
Let's come again.
Oh, I am a dynamic process used to prioritize the casualties needing emergency treatment, and I am repeated during the care of each casualty in a major accident. Who am I?
A primary survey.
Look, my friend.
Triage.
It is a triage. A triage. It's a triage. Asante. I am a brief loss of responsiveness caused by a temporary reduction of the blood flow to the brain. I may occur as a reaction to pain, exhaustion, and lack of food or emotional stress. Who am I?
Fainting.
Sorry?
Fainting.
Fainting is correct. 3 points. Fainting is correct. And the final one in this column, I am the body's extreme response to an acute infection. I am a life-threatening medical emergency. I am an uncommon complication that can occur when an infection does not respond to treatment. Who am I? Final question in this competition.
Please come again.
I am the body's extreme response to an acute infection. I am a life-threatening medical emergency. I am an uncommon complication that can occur when an infection does not respond to treatment. Who am I? And that is the final question.
Sepsis.
Sepsis! After careful thoughts, sepsis eventually has arrived. For correctitude to prevail, the end of the competition.
Because of how we are going to resource them. We have wrote a number of programs when it comes to livelihood interventions.
The betu kuro nenim say community no mo pese omo boaye of farm nti omo de to te wo pa na wa beye bi
Anglo force o masene bibia ya mo na ba omo anyim sika omo de ma me free and a fertilizer omo de ma me free ade bi omo de ma me am de ye adwuma ne bia na Anglo da anyim sika bia na first one na me bedwan ye no nya improvement kakra o ma brabo because na me mami no go school and na me nya kakra me de yom call SS.
It's like a model centers where people can actually come develop the interest, learn the thing, go and replicate the same thing in the communities. You talk about our PIGRI project. It is one project I think I'm excited about, and we'll continue to deepen it. We get people, we set up the facility, we put people on it, and they are able to make gains. They're able to generate income from this PIGRI project. And people also come there to learn. We have a model place where we do aquaculture, also creating even businesses, along the fish production chain. Now you go to New Tokunasu. It's also a resettled community, and you see the soap factory, and it gives you some joy.
It all started when Anglo Gold Ashanti Biapre Mines came to inform the community of those who are interested in any kind of skill training. So from there, they came to train us on how to do batik tie and dye, soap making, and then pastries. They give us an intermediate training on how to do more of soap. Before we were doing it in a very small place. But then with Anglo Gold Ashanti, we have a very big factory, and they have also planted some machines that we are using to make the work easier for us. And they've also bought us some kits, raw materials that we can use in production. Meanwhile, we've been sending our product to the marketplaces and some offices, companies for sale. Anglo Gold also give us contracts.
As a company, when we live here, somebody should be able to say, it is because of Anglo Gold our communities are like this. So we don't die with all the good things that we are doing.
They support us in times of need. Recently, there was this rainstorm that caused a lot of disaster. We called on Anglo Gold and they assisted with a lot of materials. They have touched on every facet of life of the people.
At the end of the very final round of the competition, Goldfields Ghana Limited had 45.5 points. Asante Gold Bibiani Limited had 61.5 points. Ghana Manganese Company Limited came with 64.5 points. And with 77.5 points, Anglo Gold Ashanti Eduapre Limited came tops.
Yes, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. In compliance with tradition, I would invite all of you to put your hands together and celebrate the achievement of Anglo Gold Ashanti Eduapre Limited, formed by Esther Kumsen and Abigail Adu. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, there are venerable persons here in our midst, and I think that we would quickly mention their names before we round up. Dr. Suleiman Koni, the CEO of the Ghana Chamber of Mines. Mr. Kofi Adjei is the Chief Inspector of Mines, Minerals Commission. John Amwanyi, the Deputy Chief Inspector of Mines, Minerals Commission. Mr. Esmond Buahin is the Deputy Chief Inspector of Mines, Explosives and Technical Minerals Commission. Samuel Kwabia Ampofu is the Senior Assistant Chief Inspector of Mines, Minerals Commission. Mr. Peter Jima is the Health and Safety Manager at Asante Gold Bibiani Limited. Mr. Edem Gali, Health and Safety Manager, Ghana Manganese Company Limited. Mr. Andrew Na is the Integrated, Payroll Personnel Database Officer, Takwa Nswaim, Ghana Education Service. Laurentia Boahime Uwa is the Manager, Human Resource and Operations. Dinah Dugu is the Public Relations Officer, Minerals Commission. Mr. Hackman Emmanuel, the Fire and Emergency Coordinations, Anglo Gold Ashanti Eduapre Limited. Bismarck Asamoah, the Health and Safety Unit Manager, Goldfields Ghana Limited. Of course, the members of the Planning Committee, Nana Ando, Deputy Chairperson, is a member. George Benchum is a member. Christopher Opoku-Nyako is a member. Albert Amekoji is a member. And last but not least, Chrysler Enima Owusu is also the secretary. Ladies and gentlemen, this is where we are. We will now do the presentation of the prizes in this competition. And for the fourth position, ladies and gentlemen, the prize that comes with it is a 203-liter top mount Samsung fridge. The third position, 7 kg Samsung front load auto washing machine. The second prize, 50 inches Samsung UAG Smart HK TV and 4K TV. And the last, first position, 55 inches Samsung UHD Smart 4K television. We've come to the end of the whole caboodle. The Lord bless you and keep you. Lord, let his face shine upon you and be gracious unto you. The Lord lift up his countenance upon all of you and grant you marvelous and immaculate peace. On this note, until the same time next week, when we bring you questions from archaeology to all of you on behalf of my producer, Francis Mensah, Kingsley Abuaji, Francis Atrado, Collins Mensah, Samuel Ologo, Crystal Atahin Crawford, Isabel said Mensah, John Poby, David Tedegu, Frank Denchi, and Kanjaga Lagaton. This has been your Quizmaster, Dan Feriabua, asking you here. And those out there, it is what?